We've got Kenny Ken. We've got DJB. You know what Wednesdays are at. We're going to Wembley as well, man. What are you two saying?
Hey, what's all that vest about, man? You just come from the gym.
No, I just got a vest on, man. What's wrong? I can't wear a vest.
What do you mean, man? How can you have a vest, man? You know. Yesterday it was damp. It was damp in North London. It was
in this room. It's boiling.
People's socks were getting wet through their trainers. Why you got this vest on for?
Because I'm hot, man. What do you want me to do? I'll put a jumper on him.
Wembley vest, man. Kenny. She's Wembley one.
It's Wembley vest. Hey, anyone like my chain? Anyone like the chain? My someone very important to me. A guy called Kevin, Crystal Palace fan.
Lovely.
Family friend. Look what he bought for me for.
Oh, Kenny's got drip on, man.
It was my second Christmas present. Look what he's got.
Kenny's going to Wembley with his bling.
Yeah. Just needs a watch now. And he's you
know what's happened? I promised myself I'm never going to take this off, but you know that I've got a ticket to go to North London Derby, so obviously cover that up, yeah. Cover it up.
You don't need to, Kenny. They'll know who you are anyway. So
I still don't want to be provocative though, because
no, exactly. Look, you can't wind them up.
Don't tempt fate, man.
It works. It doesn't work the other way. Like their fans can be provocative when they come over to Islington, but when we go to Haringey, we're not allowed to be provocative, or they get the up.
They like having their cake and eating it, man.
Yeah.
Is where it is. Where do we start, man? Let's address the elephant in the room, man. How are we feeling about not only getting to the final and things, but also the game, man, against Chelsea, lads?
Yeah, it was a weird semi-final. It was a weird atmosphere. For some reason or another, we was very quiet. The crowd, I thought we was very quiet. They made a lot of noise because I was right next to them, so they made a lot of noise. I've said this before. One of the highlights of not a very pretty game to watch.
Definitely.
So if you was a neutral, it was probably one of them games that you kind of flicked over or sort of kept your eye on, but with no real interest. The ball weren't in our court to go and attack them. It was up to them to attack us because they were obviously a goal down.
Facts.
And I predicted the first half would be a bit cagey. Both teams really frightened to push the boat out and sort of grab the ball by the horns. So when it went in at 0-0, I was expecting a little bit more from Chelsea in the second half. I was expecting a little storm to be brewing and thinking, right, well, they're going to start now because there's going to be a stage where they've got to throw the kitchen sink out of it. They need a goal.
Yeah, because they're going out.
Yeah, they're going out. And then I was getting a little bit frustrated with us because when we did get into certain situations, we didn't use the opportunity to actually calm the nerves and kill the game off. And I found that a bit frustrating because I was thinking to myself, well, if we're in certain situations here, if they've not got the bottle to come and attack us, we've got the quality to go and hurt them and just put the game to bed and get their home fans going home early and start the celebrations. But we never did that because we were playing with a little bit of nerves as well. So I know we controlled the game. And the back four, I've got to say, were absolutely magnificent. In Cape,
arguably man of the match, he is.
Gabriel, Timber was really brilliant. Rice was absolutely outstanding. If I'm going to be a little bit critical, the final third again, Martinelli and players like that.
Yeah, them long balls Martinelli kept effing up.
I don't want to get away. I don't want to get carried away with the occasion. I want to look at it sheerly from a football point of view. So there was some individuals that were poor. I wanted Eze to step up and show a little bit more so we can keep Odegaard out of the team, but I don't think he's done enough again, which disappointed me. And then I was waiting for Chelsea to come and really go, and I'm sort of looking at the clock and I'm going 75th minute, 80th minute, come on. And they didn't really have anything on us. However, we were playing a dicey game because you know what football's like, a deflection, a penalty decision, a sending off, and we could have opened the door to them. So I was a little bit disappointed in the final third that we didn't actually kill them off. But one thing I was pleased about, whilst Chelsea had hope, all of their fans stayed till the end. If we'd have led, they'd have gone home early. And the fact that they had to stay until the end to witness the stadium erupt and Kai Havertz score,
Of all people.
for me, because none of them left because they're thinking we can nick a goal here, we can take it to extra time. So they had to stay till the end and witness that. If we'd have scored a couple of goals, they'd have gone home and the stadium would have been empty.
Yeah,
so that was a bonus. But all in all, look, it's job done. Defensively, we showed what we was all about, which we've been all about all season. Why teams can't hurt us, and if teams don't hurt us, then we're kind of Italian style football, if you like. We can see games out. We can close a 0-0 out quite comfortably. But yeah, listen, over the moon. We're going to Wembley. I was absolutely buzzing last night. I was absolutely buzzing this morning. But on to the next game. That's what it's all about now. On to the next game. Put the final to bed. Let's not worry. Let's worry about that on the 21st of March. Ready for the 22nd of March, and on to the next game. But if I was to be a little bit kind of, I was just a little bit disappointed that we had the opportunity to put them to bed earlier, and we didn't quite. I didn't expect us to go all gung ho, but when we did get in certain situations, I just wanted a little bit more quality.
Take that chance, and you never know where it is.
Yeah, just to calm the nerves, because you never know. Although they weren't threatening, they could have got away with a lucky penalty or a deflection shot.
Like when they got a point at City away, where it was all City, one chance bang, 1-1 or whatever it was. You're right.
A shot goes in off the bar, and suddenly we're having a whole different conversation. But it wasn't to be, and happy days. We're at Wembley, so what more can you ask for?
You're right. Before Kenny shares his thoughts, DJV, I want to ask you another question, because you mentioned like there was a bit of nerves from the fans and whatnot. Why do you think that is? Because I know you lot are not keen of the light shows and that, but apparently there was that. Don't know if that actually happened.
Yeah.
But why do you think that was? And also, like, did the players look nervous for you? Because I do think sometimes like fans and players got feed off each other.
Yeah, there was a bit of a nervousness at the start. I think it's just down to the fact that we haven't won a trophy in so many years, and we want it desperately so badly.
Mm-hmm.
The fans are on edge every single game, because the fact of the matter is we're close on having a very, very memorable season. And I think the fact that we've gone many years and not got over the line, and we've not won anything, there's that kind of natural ingrained nervousness about the spectators, because we want it so badly. And the fact of the matter is, although it was a massive game, it is the Carabao Cup semi-final. So, there was brilliant to see young fans there, young kids there, families, tourists. So you had a bit of a mixed bag in the stadium as well. So, and not only that, Chelsea's away fans they was given a lot of allocation, and they filled it, and they was making a lot of noise. So it was just a mixture of. I just think that we're just so desperate, so we're mainly concentrating on getting the job done rather than singing and jumping about and being overconfident. One thing I will say before Kenny comes in is we're in the final, but we've got to go and do the job. We've got to go and win it, because Wembley's a very, very painful place to be if you lose, and it can make or break your season literally in one day. And all this will be for nothing if we don't get the job done. So, let's get the celebrations, get into the final done, and then let's concentrate on the league.
Full facts, DJB, man. Kenny, what are you saying, man? I know you got a lot to share, man.
No, first and foremost, the anxiety was everything both sides did was understandable. I know there's Chelsea fans in there. I got why Chelsea played like they did. They didn't look like scoring, but I think he's more about health management of his players. And there's a case like he didn't concede in the first half. It was always going to be a second half game for Chelsea. It was always going to be a case where he got his main guns on. Players like Esteval. Players
Palmer
like
as well.
Cole Palmer, obviously. and obviously players like obviously Garnacho, and we knew that was coming. The fact is that the Eze thing is the most interesting part of what we did. People need to remember that Eze was always going to play 90 minutes. Hindsight's 2020. The reason why he was going to play, but Eze wasn't required to play in a sort of creative area in the last third. He was required for his legs, because you look at out of all our outfield players, he's the only person who hasn't had a period out with a serious injury or injury itself. So he was needed to obey his manager's instructions. It was a runner's game. It was a case where everyone had to make sacrifices. Martinelli had to make sacrifices. Victor had to make sacrifices. Madueke had to make sacrifices as well off the ball, because we knew second half Chelsea were going to get the ball, their big guns forward. So what we've done really well is that we kept Cole Palmer when he came on away from the last third. We got him to play deep, and that never helped Chelsea. We made Deluded look average, which he is.
Why he was right wing, I don't know, but
that played in our hand. Henkepe had a very good game. I thought at right back, Timber was fantastic, because everyone played to the plan. Everyone worked hard off the ball.
Yep.
Without a shadow of doubt, the anxiety was all over the stadium. It was definitely on the player side and definitely the management, because the only way you can win trophies, and they're being contention winning trophies, you get the finals. We haven't got to a final since 2020. There was always going to be this level of anxiety at Chelsea. There was Arsenal fans going to the match who weren't sure that we were going to get through. It would, and we played like we weren't sure it was going to happen. So the level of anxiety has to be acknowledged, and it is understandable. It's frustrating, but it's understandable. You've got to remember one thing: it was always big get to the final. You know, when you get to these situations where last minute of game, you know what's important. You have to avoid losing. All we had to do yesterday was make sure we didn't lose. If we didn't lose, we're through to the final. It wasn't pleasing the eye, but both teams were complicit in that. Both teams couldn't afford to have an open game of football, because our anxiety was all over the place if Chelsea got a couple of goals, and Chelsea had been out of it. We got a goal or two. So last minute, Chelsea's played their hand, left gaps. Kai Havertz put the ball in the net because Chelsea had to go for that shot. But you know what I liked about it was how happy the crowd were afterwards. You know, hugging. Everyone was hugging. Everyone was really happy.
Players as well.
And it's one of the things where some people say things that don't really mean that. Oh, it's only the Carling Cup. It's only the FA Cup, not big trophy.
I'm happy you're touching on
it. I know some of our fans were saying that on the basis that what occurred when Man United won those trophies and Man City celebrated Newcastle. But now we're in our trophy. We realise we're now in the final. We now got a contention winning things. And who knows, if we win against either Man City or Newcastle, which, let's be honest, it should be Man City, two things are going to help us. One, we get revenge for 2018.
Facts.
What they did to us in that final was so humiliating that they enjoyed it so much, they did it 4 days later at the Emirates.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, Man City, there was a period between 2017-18 season and up until 2023 when Man City beat us home and away without breaking sweat. The only time we came again was New Year's Day 2022 when they got a last-minute winner. Apart from that, they beat us. So we owe them for that. But the most important thing from an Arsenal point of view is that you win the League Cup and you win trophies. It becomes an addiction, and it helps us with the league. So there's still a bit of anxiety. I spoke to an esteemed person from the media. He does want to be named. He still feels
Kenny's got connections, man.
Yeah, but I've known him for a few years, and we know the same person. Although I've fallen out with the guy, but he hasn't. But let's just say he understands the anxiety. He's not sure we'll win the title. He said to me, we should win the title, but he won't put his house on it because of
That's how I feel.
Because of the fact that even though Man City are not the best, he doesn't believe that if we had an opportunity to go 9 points ahead or 10 points ahead, we won't take it. But he says that we have to beat Sunderland, because if we beat Sunderland, and he doesn't, in his opinion, he thinks Liverpool are going to raise their game against Man City. That's an opportunity to go 9 points ahead. He's worried that we won't be able to do that. And that's so, that anxiety we had yesterday, about getting to our first final in 6 years, that's still a spectre at this club, because yes, the personnel's there. Yes, the tactics are there, but we've got nothing to show for it. Finally, we've got an opportunity to show all the good work we've done this season. And then who knows? I don't think me and DJB would change their mind about the manager.
Because come on, if you're going to trophy, man.
Let me finish. I'll tell you one thing. We'll bloody well praise him and say thanks very much for the success, because
you both will.
Because that's what you should do. Because it's his. Whatever happens this season, if it's success, it's his success, because he's put up. He's got a lot of detractors like us too, and he's done it his way. So he deserves all the accolades he'll get. But whether we've changed our minds on, you can't have 6 years of having doubts. It's all of a sudden not have those doubts, but without a shadow of doubt.
Well, if he wins 2 trophies, though, like let's just say the Premier League Cup.
Without a shadow of doubt, if it happens, it's his success, because he's done it his way, and you've got to respect a manager who's won his way.
I hear it. DJB, obviously we're in a final, so luck of the draw, we've got a 50% chance here, but it's not that I want to park the League Cup chat. Is it realistic that we can win 2 trophies as a minimum, or like how many do you guys have down as we can win? Because surely I actually think it's quite realistic we can win the Prem. Obviously we need to go do it. We're in a final. Do we think we can add the champs and the FA Cup to it? Is it just 1? Is it 4? Where's your lot headspace at this moment with
well, there's a lot of factors involved. Injury free. We've got let's be honest, right? Let's cut to the chase here. If I was to say to you in the chat or speak outside the ground, who are the 4 players that we cannot afford to lose to be successful at this football club? And straight away, you'd probably go Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Rice, off the top of your head.
Sacks as well.
Yeah. So they are the 4 main key players of this team. If you was to take 2 of them out of the team long term, we're looking at a completely different Arsenal football team. Because as I said to you before, you can play Rice and Norgard in midfield, we'll go to Wembley. You can play Rice and Zubamendi in midfield, we'll go to Wembley. You play Zubamendi and Norgard in midfield, then you're looking at a complete different ball game. You can play Rice and Norgard, and you'll still look solid. So Rice is key. Rice is key, and he proved that last night again. He's absolutely key. We can win the trophies because we've invested so much money over the years, and we've invested in this team, and we've given this manager a hell of a lot of kind of time to build the team. So we can win trophies without a doubt. We're in them. We're 6 points clear of the league. I've said this before. If you lose the league from now on in, then there is no coming back. There is no coming back. You should not be 6 points clear above a Man City team that's not firing on all cylinders, that don't look the part at the moment, and you're 6 points clear with the fixture list we've got left. No disrespects to the teams that we're playing, but with the fixture lists that we've got coming up, 6 points clear, for me, there's no excuses. So if we get the job done on Saturday against Sunderland and Man City slip up, I think the league is pretty much more or less done.
So we beat Sunderland and City drop at points against Liverpool. You think it's done?
If we go 9 points clear, it should be done. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It should be done. Because if you was to put that on its head and go Man City are 9 points clear.
Yeah, we'd say no one's catching them.
Or Liverpool are 9 points clear. We'd all be going, it's done. We're finished. Forget the league. Right? So you know, if Arsenal do it, then the same principle applies. However, you know, I realistically believe that we can win the Carabao Cup. I've said that the Carabao Cup is probably our kind of in the bank. We can win this one. That's not a problem. I also said that we'd be very, very strong in the Champions League because I feel that this team is built for the Champions League.
And so far, so good.
Because our defensive unit, the way we retain the ball, our positional play, our discipline in positions, and what we have to do. I think that kind of upsets a lot of teams in Europe. Not so much the Premiership, but I do think that it does upset a lot of the teams in Europe. So I think we've got a very, very good chance of winning the Champions League. People might think I'm crazy, but I think we have. FA Cup, again, it's a lottery, isn't it? Because, okay, we got Wigan at home. And no disrespect.
You don't know what's going to happen past that.
Yeah, well, no disrespect to Wigan. We should get through that. However, there's going to come a point where this manager, he might have to prioritise. And if we're
getting to the end of March, April,
exactly. If we're further in the competition in the FA Cup and things are still pretty touch and go in the Premier League, and we're in a good striking distance in the Champions League, that something might have to give. Something might have to give. I don't know what it is, but something might have to give. But realistically, as I sit here now and talk to you now, I think Premier League, we shouldn't blow it from here. There's no way we should blow this Premiership from here. If he does, as much as how many finals he might have got us to, and Wembley and everything else, I don't think there'd be no coming back for the football manager if he loses the Premier League this season, personally. And and no one can convince me otherwise. Even though we get to the Carabao Cup final, the FA Cup final, semi-final, Champions League, there is no excuses from now on in with those fixtures. 6 points clear, out of form, hit and miss Man City team, a drop off the cliff Liverpool team. For me, there's no excuses that this manager cannot get over the line in the Premier League. So if I was a betting man, I would say the Premier League and the Carabao Cup is in the bag, and then the other two, it's a case of, you know, what's going to be the priority. Yeah, exactly. But I do think I do think the Champions League. I'm excited about the Champions League, and I have been from the start of the season, because I just feel the way we play, the tactics, the way we set up, the way we retain the ball. I feel that we could go all the way in the Champions League.
You know how much I want that trophy. You're the same.
Now, I sat next to those Chelsea fans last night, and all they were singing about Europe, you'll never sing that, this, that, and the other, this, that, and the other, and it's jarring. So if we're in a position, Champions League or Premiership, I'm sorry, I am taking the Champions League.
I'm with you.
All day long.
I know Kenny will disagree, but
however, Carabao Cup and Premier League, we should not be blowing that. There's no way that we should be in this position in the Premier League and lose it. No way. That for me would be unforgivable. And I don't know if we did lose the Premiership, and Kenny highlighted this the other day on a chat, I don't know how the club would bounce back from that. And I don't know the fans as well. I think that would be a really, really dark day in the history of Arsenal if we lose the Premiership from now on in. It really would.
And even that, obviously it's not really updated on Google, but this game's been moved forward. So I think we'll actually be playing Sunderland, then Brentford. Then I'm sure we got the Wolves. Wolves has been brought before the Wigan game. So we've got a cluster of fixtures. For me, there's no rationale behind this. I just genuinely think, for me, I'm 98% believing we'll win the league. On the 18th of April, if we beat City, I'm all for that. Kenny, what are you saying though, man? Because I got DJ B's thoughts on what he said. Like, what about yours before I ask you something else?
You know, if we go into chronological order, I stand by it, and I say it now. If Arsenal don't win the league, I think, as a fan base, this will be a blow that we will not be able to recover from. No. Everything will be done. every podcast you'll see, every conversation you'll see, it will be like without life in it, because I don't think this club will recover. Because to do it 3 times when you've got a lead, it's unrecoverable. That's why we have to win this league. But if Arsenal do win this league, they have to make, in order to keep on competing and winning other competitions, the league, there's certain things they have to do. They have to be able to sell or move on 5 or 6 players. One of them is a starter, and 5 of them are sometimes starters and not starters.
Name names.
They not yet. They now have to move and go for elite players, because the only way you can stay at the top is if you freshen the team.
Consolidate that.
This team's been playing together for a long, long time, and it's highly likely we'll win the league because we've let in the least goals. But in terms of like goals scored individually, we won't be able to,
really.
It's not sustainable in future years to win the league like this. So we've got to make those kind of sacrifices. In terms of like the FA Cup, you're right. DJB's right. The FA Cup's a lottery, and it's one of those things. It depends who you get. For a start, if you play at home against certain teams, you've got a good chance of getting to the semi-final. So far, we played Portsmouth, always going to win that game. And we played Wigan, we're going to win that game. Let's see who we get in the 5th round, where we get a home tie, or we get a home tie against anyone outside of the top 6, or we get an away tie against an easy club. Because if we get a home tie against a team in the top 6, particularly a Liverpool, Man United, and a Man City, I can guarantee you
from recent years. Well, 3.
They'll turn us over because they'll raise their game, because the cup's a different than kettle of fish, and it's a winner takes all. There's going to be no injury, no extra. There's going to be no replays. So that's why I think we're vulnerable. In the Champions League, the only teams I fear are the English clubs. Our biggest obstacle to win the Champions League was with the huge volume of English clubs we may have to play. Our record against English clubs in Europe is not very good. Obviously, there's always a first time for everything, but the English clubs will be a pain in the neck, even Spurs. Yes, we don't.
No, we'll move to Spurs.
No, you can't do it.
I'll make you right with all that now.
You can't discount any English club. Because
I hear that, but they've stunk their way. They shouldn't even be full. That's 4th position, Kenny. Nah,
you can't discount an English club.
City, yeah, because we might play them 3-4 times.
No,
Spurs,
you can't discount an English club, because just as much as you know them, they know you. And
Kenny, they're too shit, man.
No,
I know you shouldn't. They're too shit.
Like that.
For them, it does.
Let's not forget 2004 when we were going for the quadruple. We beat Chelsea home and away in every game. We beat Chelsea home and away in the league. We knocked them out the FA Cup that season. In the Champions League, we drew the first leg at home at the Bridge. They came and beat us. So don't.
Nah, man, I hear you, Kenny, but
And now, if we played any other team in 2004, a European team, we win that. But because it's the English clubs, it's a different thing. 4 years later, we played Liverpool. Right? That was a team that should have won the league. Liverpool beat us 4-2 on aggregate. The year afterwards, we played Man United. What happened there? They beat us. Even though we only lost at Old Trafford, they turned us over 3-1. And then the Europa League final in Azerbaijan, we beat Chelsea 2-0 at home. We were scoring goals for fun. In the final, they took us away.
Right, shat the bed. Battle.
So what I'm saying is that English clubs are the biggest danger to us. I don't fear Real Madrid. I respect Real Madrid, but I don't fear them. I don't fear Barcelona, but I respect them. But Barcelona play a way that will enable you to stop what they're doing, and you'll be able to impose your game on them, because they play a very good football, but it's not physical enough. I fear Bayern Munich because it's Bayern Munich. That's it. But English clubs, every PSG, of course. Sorry about PSG fans. I fear PSG, But every English club that's in it, and we've got 5 of them, I fear. Not
Give me
because
the English clubs
not
over
because
these,
they're
but any
better
day
than
of the
us,
week.
it's because they know us. And then they'll raise their game against us, and they'll make it doubly difficult for us. And we've seen that when teams get all the basics right against us, we won't beat them. Liverpool in the league got all the basics right. We couldn't beat them. Even Nottingham Forest got all the basics right. Couldn't even break them down. And
To a degree, Chelsea yesterday. I know it's not the same, but to a degree.
And even Spurs, as bad as they are, you watch. They still had to be respected.
No, man, I can't consign the Spurs.
As much as you don't respect Spurs, one day, we're shown that if every teams this season in the league get the basics right against us, we find it doubly difficult.
Mm-hmm. But that's not something we've learned this season. We've been dealing with that for years, but you're not wrong.
But this season, our biggest Achilles heel have been teams like that.
100%, 1,000,000%, and that's something for Arteta
and the English clubs know us. They know about all our tricks at the corners.
Don't you reckon the whole world will know about them now, anyways?
Yeah,
because we get more
flawless
in Europe than in England. We just get slated in this country.
Look what Chelsea did. First, it was every man in the box, and all of a sudden, just before kickoff, they all ran out and they dragged their players out.
But we still almost had they found a way, but we still almost had chances from the corners. So I don't know, man.
Yesterday was a game of attrition. But all I'm trying to say is that that's one of the reasons why I hate the Champions League, because there's too many bloody English clubs in it who basically get in our way. But you know my thoughts. I can't stand it. I hate the Champions League now because I think it's a contrived competition in order to ensure that the best teams and the biggest clubs in the world get a second bite of the cherry when they've lost games. I want the old format, which was a European Cup, where you could play Barcelona in the first round, and if you lose to Barcelona, that's it. European League. Goodbye, bye-bye next season. But what we've got is contrived competition where because Man United and AC Milan weren't getting it every year, we said the top 4. Now we're saying the top 5. It's all to make sure Man United, Barcelona, AC Milan, Internazionale, Dortmund getting the league, getting the
anyone who's somebody is in it.
Yeah, because they want big games, big advertising, and big money. It's a fake competition. And I don't respect
that's what football in its totality has become.
Yeah, but how can you celebrate winning the Champions League when you haven't won your league? How can you do it? You shouldn't be in there.
I mean, I would celebrate if that happened. God forbid, hopefully we win both.
You think about it, right? Chelsea won the Champions League when they didn't even win their league.
True.
Liverpool won the Champions League in 2005 and 19 when they didn't win the league. But when they won the previous 4 Champions League, they were the champions.
Yeah. No,
why you call it Champions League when the only teams where there's teams that finish 4th in there?
True. But could winning a major trophy this season start a period of dominance for us?
Call it the Super League and change and design a different trophy.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I prefer the Champions League when you got your draw, you played home and away, 2 legs, extra time, and then if you was out, you was out. DG, when you asked the question, is could winning trophies Arsenal could dominate for years to come?
Big up Arthur for asking that in the chat.
The thing about that is, right, you've got to be realistic and look at it from a football point of view rather than an Arteta or an Arsenal, or whether you're in or whether you're out, no matter what you are. The point of the matter is, in this modern day football, you've got to keep freshening up. You've got to keep it fresh. Now, if we was not to look through and just look at it logically, right, look at it logically, Martinelli can't play for 90 minutes. Trossard has had a brilliant season up until Christmas, and he's come down with the decorations, unfortunately. Right? Gyökeres has still got to improve and show people that he's an absolute baller of a striker.
They're going to talk.
I know what people say. He don't get the service. No one passes to him. You know, you hear all this school playground stuff. No one passes to him. Yeah, you hear all of that. But fact of the matter is, sometimes when you're a player and things ain't going well, you've got to make your own luck, and you've got to try.
Which he's been doing in Europe, to be fair, and in recent years.
I'm not saying he's a bad player, and I've said before anyone jumps in, I'd rather Gyökeres starting than anyone else because I don't want to revert back to what we had. But listen, take away all the euphoria of last night, which is brilliant, and I've only just come down, and I was there, and I was around the Emirates and hugging and doing whatever, and look at it going forward. So let's say we win the Premiership and we win the Carabao Cup, because they're the main two cups that we're probably looking at. The Champions League and FA Cup's a bit of a lottery at the moment. We haven't got all the eggs in the basket at the moment on them two competitions. But Premiership, we're 6 points clear, and we're in the Carabao Cup final. So they're realistically the two trophies that we can win right as we speak right now. So we win that. We get to May, we get to June. Then you start looking at the squad next season, because Liverpool will strengthen. Liverpool will have a different outlook next year. Man City will have a different outlook next year. Who knows? Man City might even have Luis Enrique. They might even have a different manager next year. Man United are coming over the hill. Chelsea will be Chelsea. They won't stand still. And then you've got all the other clubs around the peripheral. You've got Aston Villa, you've got Everton, you've got Newcastle, all these clubs. Now, we've struggled to get over the line with the players that we've had. We've struggled with the Martinellis. We've struggled with the Trossards. We've struggled with the Havertz. We've struggled with the Jesuses. Yeah? We've struggled with all these men in the past. So going forward next season, and I know it's harsh, because, how can you say that? They got us to a final and they've won this and they've won that. The facts of the matter is, they haven't really been good enough on a consistent basis.
But surely we can't let 5 come in and 5 go out, or
and
6 go in and 6 go out. Or you get a Liverpool situation.
I'm not saying mass clear out, but what
there
I'm
needs to be
saying
upgrades
is,
and harsh decisions.
if you was to pull the wool over your eyes and ignore everything that's gone before what's happened, and truly believe that this squad of players that we've got is going to retain the Premiership next season and win Carabao Cups next season, then you're not looking at it through an Arsenal fan's eyes. You're looking at it through a deluded kind of, we're Arsenal, we're the best in the world.
Because when you're at the pinnacle, you're going to have to stay up there. You will need to get some.
You have to keep freshening it up. You have to keep freshening it up.
And we're overdue freshening up anyway.
We've seen it with Man City when Pep refused to sign anyone that summer. And he stuck by De Bruyne, and he stuck by all these players here. And then he got to January, and then he had to sign Mamouche and all of this because he held his hands up and said, I should have freshened it up. I didn't. So the facts of the matter is, if we can get good money for certain players like Martinelli, Trossard, Ben White, Odegaard, Jesus, all of these players, even Havertz, I'll put in with that because of his injuries and everything else. If we can get good money for these players, we've got to go to that next level. And that
all the names you said there, DJB, would you sell them if, like, for argument's sake, we're in the summer, decent offers have come for every player you've said there? Would you get rid of them then, there and then?
If I could, yeah, absolutely. If I can, no, hang on a minute. Because if I can guarantee I can get quality in the door.
Yeah, but it's all got a gel though.
If I can get quality in the door to replace them, I mean, I'm not going to go and sell. You wouldn't go and sell 5-6 players if there's no one in the wings to come in that's not any quality. If you're not upgrading, then you have to keep with what you've got. But what I'm saying is, you've got to go. Look, supporting Arsenal is not like supporting any other football club.
Facts,
right? You've got to keep moving forward. You've got to keep strengthening and finding ways of how you can improve. Even Arteta would say that right now.
He definitely
Arteta knows that. Arteta knows that. I'm not saying anything different probably to what he would be saying, right? But what I'm saying is, you can't stick by players that have been bang average for the last 2-3 seasons. And just because we've gone and won 2 trophies, you're expecting them to go and pull up trees next season, because the next level will be the Champions League.
And that's a different ball.
There comes a point when the owners or whoever and the fans are going to say, right, we've done the Premiership. I've seen there, been there, done that. I now want the Champions League. Right? Now, to go to that next level, you've got to move players on. Martinelli He's not good enough over 90 minutes. Trossard, and I'll use Kenny's term, dibbly-dobbly, he's not good enough for 90 minutes. Jesus, not good enough.
Definitely has to be
Too
moved
many
on.
injuries. Havertz, is he really good enough for 90 minutes?
I'll hold on to him I'll hold on to Havertz for one more year.
Right?
The rest can cut.
Okay, if you want him as a squad player, fine. But if
One
you're
of
telling me,
Trossard,
if someone comes in and says 40 million for Havertz, 70 million for Odegaard, 40 million for Martinelli, 35 for Trossard, trust me, the club's taking
the appetite, man.
Trust me, the club is letting them go. They're going. Because the club.
But my just thing is, we got to be a bit cute and clever with it. Like you can't just let them. I'm not saying you're not saying this, but you can't let them go and bring guys in, or you get a Liverpool situation.
I get that, but let's spin it on another. Right?
We need to get rid of Reece Nelson as well.
Who have we really got? You know, you hear the crap Piers Morgan comes out with, which totally disrespects all of the great teams that have gone before this one, right? But who have we really got as an absolute complete replacement for any of these players with long-term injuries? Mosquera is going to be good. Nkappe's
probably be the defensive ranks, isn't it?
I get that, right? But if Gabriel and Saliba goes down, we haven't got like a Van der Ven or someone like that to come and replace them. Yeah. When Saka's injured, we've got Madueke. Now, if anyone tells me Madueke is a good player, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. He's not. He's poor.
He's not that bad, D-Dog.
He's poor. No, come on, man. DG, you've played the game, man. He's poor.
Listen, I've got to be devil's advocate. What we're seeing with Madueke, I knew this was going to be the case.
Someone tell me, man. When you've looked at all the great wingers over the years and the great players around Europe, Madueke is poor. And I'll give you an example. Martinelli was dropping a stinker last night, right? Okay, didn't really do much. He huffed and puffed, he ran about, he worked hard, but he didn't really do much, right? He put Martinelli on the right and brought on Trossard on the left and took off Madueke. That tells you everything you need to know how bad Madueke is, because he was willing to put Martinelli there. And he is poor, let's be honest, right? So, listen, I'm not here to slate players. I'm not here to rip players in. I'm just looking at it realistically. If you're going to go to the next level, if you're going to go to the next level and you're going to make like-for-like substitutions, you need a situation where you're bringing on men like Elise if Saka goes down. You've got to bring on quality for quality, quality for quality. Right now,
or the gap has to be closer.
If we lose 5 players or 3 players out of this side, if we lose, I mean, who's coming in for Declan Rice right now?
It's got to be Norgard, isn't it? Or if you're not going to change the dynamics,
it's Norgard. Is Norgard good enough now as a long-term replacement to take us to the next level next year?
I wouldn't say long-term, no.
No, right.
You know my thoughts on midfield. I think we're midfield
on the left. Apart from Trossard and Martinelli, who have we got to take us to the next level on the left?
I wanted the left winger in the summer, so I make you right there.
So we still haven't got no one left winger. Here's another one. Who have we got top quality right back to replace Timber if he gets injured long term?
Benjamin White's cool, at least for another year.
Sure. Take us to the next level. Week in, week out.
Take us to the next level in terms of individual ability, but we can do a thing with them.
What I'm saying is, Benjamin White's cool to be in the comfort zone, but is Benjamin White cool to take us to the next level? These are the things you got to ask yourself.
We're never going to have 2 quality players in every
We're not milling around. We're not milling around. No disrespect to Brighton and people like this.
I hear you.
Know, we've got to freshen it up, and we've got to freshen it up with absolute quality next season. And if that means bombing players on that haven't done it in the past, so be it.
That has to happen. Uncomfortable decisions have to be made. Like naturally, I do think. In general, it's easy for us to say get rid of Havertz, get rid of Jesus, but there might, like you lot said earlier, there might not be any offers. I wouldn't let them all go. Obviously, if you're looking at it purely from
why keep them for? Why keep for? Do you want to?
Can't just let 6 players go. There's why not? What it's worth. I'm not against them leaving.
Yeah, if you can,
really though.
Yeah, but all right,
because they're going to need to be replaced. And on paper, we can huff and puff. And
but you're not selling them just because to get money. We're selling them so we can get 6 replacements in.
Yeah, but then replacements have to work. So you know we feel comfortable. Jesus gone, Havertz gone. Like who else is there?
Just before Kenny comes in, sorry Kenny, but if you've won major trophies, the attraction to play for Arsenal for better quality players is going to be even bigger.
I'm not disputing that, but you look at Liverpool's summer. Wirtz is finding his feet, granted, but Wirtz has now come in. They got Isaac, Hugo's hitting the ground running, but the vast majority of them guys, where they're trying to do what they're failing to do, what they set out to do and retain it. I think you can learn from that. I do think people underestimate.
He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. He wasn't.
I'm not saying there's very man that can leave this team. I'm just saying 5, 6 there's issues.
Yeah, but just because it hasn't worked out initially, at the end of the day, let's see what happened. Let's not forget. Klopp took a long time to freshen up that midfield,
100%.
and it took him another 5 years to win a title. You know it was that with Henderson. You know it was that for Fabinho, and obviously
I'm not selling Kai this summer.
And what's happened is that they gradually did do that. When they did it, eventually, they in 2024, had it not been for injuries, they probably would have challenged. In 2025, they won the thing. Let's not forget. We look at what happened in 20 when they should have probably won the league in 2022. He kept Henderson, all those guys, a year too long. Look where they finished in the league.
100%. There's no right or wrong. I'm just saying 5, 6 guys go, we're in trouble.
That's the risk Arsenal would take. Let's not forget, we're winning this league in spite of, not because because Gyökeres is scoring every week and he's frying shots from all over the place.
But how would our squad be stronger?
We're not winning the league because Saka's producing world-class performance. We're not winning the league because Martinelli is just scoring screams all day. We're winning the league.
No, but that's why I think you lot are conflicted. I'm not against you lot. We've got too much hot and cold guys in attack.
We're letting fewer goals and lost fewer matches than our rivals, but we're not necessarily playing better than them. So if you think we're going to win the league like that next season,
no, 1 million%. I'm just saying, like,
we've got to freshen
I
up.
wouldn't let them all go in one window.
If you keep Havertz, who's had 3 serious injuries, you keep Jesus, who's had 3 serious injuries.
One of Trossard and Martinelli I'm selling.
So you've got Saka, who keeps on getting injured since he's had his hamstring, and you've got Martin Odegaard. What comes up will go down. I promise you.
No, I'm with you with that. I'm just saying I'm not on selling all of. Even if you could convince me and tell me that the players we're bringing in are better, of course I'd be happy. But I don't. I think you got to freshen it up, but you can't make too many wholesale. You kind of got to do it in bunches.
The players that we've suggested are actually players who we don't believe are going to be able to give us the amount of games we need in order to challenge.
Yeah, for me, Jesus is one of the first out the door, 1,000,000%. For this summer, for this summer,
as well, because he hasn't had a full season. He's had 2 serious injuries, so you got to put him in that category.
Who did you say?
You got to put Havertz in the category because he had a serious injury.
Havertz is one of our most consistent players, whether I like him or not.
But it's all about. Can he give us? It's all about. Can he give us all the amount of games we need?
No, I hear that. And Berta might be looking at the wages these guys are on and thinking,
and please, I think
if it's up to me, Jesus is gone.
Regarding Martin Odegaard, the scales are falling for a lot of people's eyes. There's obviously some diehard Martin Odegaard fans.
Realistically, he's not going to be sold, though. Realistically.
But the fact is, he can't be starting games. He can't.
The system's evolved him. You might have to be the sub guy now and whatnot.
Sub guy. In the captain of Norway is someone who's young enough for us to get big money from. Out you go, mate.
To be fair, we did spend 30 million on him. We could.
Mate.
But we know he's not going to. The title-winning captain is not going to leave in the summer of 2026. Assuming we've won. Why not? But we all know this. I'm not saying it's wrong, but we all know this.
John Henderson won a lot more than him, and
that's cool. But we know with Mikel Arteta, Odegaard, you lot know in your hearts he's not.
John Henderson was close. John Henderson was closer to Klopp than Mikel Arteta's closer than I think.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This summer is going to be a big summer for the football club because if we win the trophies,
I need my left winger, my game-changing left winger.
Look, I'm not. What people don't realise is by us wanting to freshen the team up so that we can compete and retain what we've won, they think you're being negative on the players that we've already got. So they're missing the point. The point is that the matter is a lot of these players have been here for many, many years, right? And they have had to work tirelessly to get to where they are now by winning trophies, right? and they've had to go through injuries, and it's taken a lot out of them. Now, to keep it fresh and to keep us competing so we can go and win trophies every season, whether that be an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup, Premiership, whatever.
Average age is 26, man. We need to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Prime ages.
Exactly. We've got prime ages. So what I'm trying to say is, if there is an opportunity to move certain players on, and I'm not saying put all 6 up for sale and have no one coming through the door and weaken the team. I'm not saying that. Right. What I'm saying is, if the opportunity arises where we can move certain players on, then I think we've got the football club's got a lot of business to do.
I'm with you look, with that. Jesus got a goal. Nelson got a goal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying within the next 2 years, I'm trying to be a bit cute and clever.
It's nice to have the squad depth.
You could bring me the next Semenyo. Trossard and Martinelli both go. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, if we end up with Martinelli on, if we end up with
and Jesus, so we'd be weaker there.
If we end up with Martinelli in the squad, he's not going to be a terrible player to have as a squad player. But he's not going to be. He's not. For me, he's not 90 minutes. For me, you can't play him week in, week out, week in, week out. And look, at the end of the day, if you're playing for Arsenal Football Club, you've got to get to the levels of Declan Rice, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber. You've got to put in 8, 9. You've got to put in 8, 9, 10 out 10 performances in every game. That's the levels you've got to be at. You can't just sit in the comfort zone and have games where you're sort of seeing players turn up regularly. They'll have 1 good game, 4 bad games, 1 good game, 5 bad games. You just can't have it. You can't get attached to these players as well. Your love for these players can't be at the detriment of not winning anything for the football.
For me, it's not even the players. I'm just thinking about the squad. Like,
that's not your. Sorry to cut into you, but DG, it's not you. You're playing devil's advocate, but there's a lot of people in a chat who just don't get it. It's like they only watch Arsenal play. I'm not saying all of them, but it's not. It's all about Arsenal moving forward. It's not about keeping players on reputation. Now, let's face it. If you want to keep these players on reputation, if you want me to be churlish, I can always say, "What have they won?" If you want me to play that game, if I want me to play the same game you guys are playing, we're saying, "Oh, these two will get us relegated at this rate," or "These two look over their shoulder when they're sexing." All right, I'll play your game. How much has these world-class players won us?
Hopefully a bag of things, man. By the end of the season.
Exactly. So I don't want to play that game. I want Arsenal to do well. I'm excited that we got to a final, but in order to stay at the top and keep on challenging and win things, so we never have this period again where we go 6 years without winning a trophy. Previously 9, and in previous years it was 8. In 1 year it was 17 years. So that we don't have these years without winning anything. In order to keep on winning, you have to evolve and move players on 2 in, 2 out. Obviously, we said a bit more than that, but you have to have a situation where you always have to assume that whether it's Saka or Raya, if there's someone better in their position, he's coming to the club to take their place. That's football.
No, I agree with that, Kenny, and sorry to cut you, because obviously during this reign with Mikel Arteta, the guys that helped us qualify for the top 4 weren't necessarily the guys that helped us in our first title challenge or the second or the third. Obviously, as DJB said, if we go and win the league, the guys that helped us get there for our first title, they might not be there to help us retain it or do a 3-peat or win the Champions League. So I'm on that. Like, I think evolution should always be happening. And I think there's a couple, as much as I like Odegaard's position's up for threat. I'm a bit uneasy about that role, because obviously when Yeri's gone on loan, Marino's now got injured. We've got Kai back, but we have to wrap him in cotton wool, and Eze ain't done much. But you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. I do think Bertrand and these that are going to bring new players in. I just feel, obviously, if you were to say 30-odd million for Trossard, 30-odd, 40 million for Martinelli, from a money point of view, I'll be like, oh, they're on good wages, they're hot and cold, I'd go and do it. But when I try and consider in my mind, like the squad and everything like that, I think one of them this summer, if that makes sense. Because to me, as much as I think we need an upgrade on them, if you're telling me you get, I don't know, let's for argument's sake say we sign Semenyo left wing, but you get rid of Trossard, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, who can play their goals there, that leaves us weaker, in my opinion, with the bodies. That's why I'm saying we got to be a bit cute and clever. Like, we all know a lot of players could leave this summer, but maybe some players go this summer, maybe a cheeky couple exits next January, and then obviously the summer after that. I just don't feel comfortable with mad wholesale changes.
Yeah, it can't be a mass
said,
exodus. Yeah, listen, I get that, DG. You can't just like throw 5-6 bodies out the sell them on and weaken your team. I understand that, but look.
And I don't think
Let's look at it another way. Let's look at it another way. At the start of the season, and the chat can answer this. If we'd have had a chance to sign Rodrigo,
we'd have done it.
We'd have done it. And Martinelli and Trossard would not even be in the frame now, right? Because let's be honest, Trossard wanted to leave the football club, and if we'd have got the right money for him, he'd have gone.
Wouldn't be here.
He wouldn't be here. So you know what I mean? Semenyo. If we'd have had a chance to sign Semenyo in January, we'd have got him, and there'd have been a lot of Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, brilliant, we've got Semenyo. Go get Semenyo. Go get Semenyo." Right? So at the end of the day, the left-hand side is still a problem because Trossard is in and out, and Martinelli is not consistent enough.
There's a lot of options on the left. Nobody's the guy.
I know everyone's attached to Martinelli and everyone loves him and all of that. I do. I think he's been okay for the club. But for the last two seasons, he hasn't. And I want players that are consistent. I've got a taste of success back at the football club, and it's been a long, long time. I want to continue that success. I don't want to sit in the comfort zone in the slow lane on a moped. I want to be out in the fast lane with an Aston Martin.
It's true.
You know,
I don't think you lot are wrong. I agree with that.
If the people in the chat wants all this love affair for individual players because they bring them moments in time and they bring them joy and all of that for one game, then fine, have them for the next 2-3 years while the other clubs are evolving and improving. And then in 5-6 years' time, we're back in a situation where the club's got to spend another £1 billion and we're back to another rebuild again. That's why you have to keep it fresh. Otherwise, you'll then be looking at, instead of looking at 3 or 4 players you need to sign, you'll be looking at 7, 8, 9 players to sign, and so on and so on and so on. So you've got to keep it fresh. You can't get yourself attached to the players. Whilst they're doing the job at your football club, you support them, you give them your support, you admire them and everything else. But unfortunately, football's ruthless. Yeah. You have to move on. You have to keep up with the times. We see that
with Ramsdale, Tini, the list goes on.
Exactly. We've done it with Ramsdale and people like this. We brought in David Raya. Everyone was like, "Oh, we're getting rid of Ramsdale. Oh, what's the matter with him? I can't believe he's getting rid of Ramsdale. Look what he's done for us."
And now no one don't care about Ramsdale again.
No one cares. But this is what I'm trying to say. So it depends what you want as an Arsenal fan. You want to win trophies this year and go another 6 years and win nothing, or you want to win trophies this year and have a good chance of retaining them next season. I know what I want. I want to retain them next season. I don't want to sit for another 6-5 years and seeing another rebuild and seeing players go stale, injuries, giving us 6 out of 10 performances. That's not me being negative. That's just me wanting the best for my football club. And that's me not attached to certain players that I feel may need improving over the years.
I want to see our players kind of not wrapped in cotton wool isn't the right word, yeah, but like I think either DJB or Kenny, one of you mentioned, you know, Kai's had 2 big injuries. We all know about Magalhaes. Saka comes to mind as well because we're kind of paying for overplaying them in previous years. So I do want to be in a scenario where we do kind of have like for like players. My attacking rank, I think there's space for in isolation, one of Martinelli, one of Trossard, these hot and cold players that you can kind of mix and blend and be a squad player, but we do have too many. So it'd be interesting. My last question before I let you lot go, yeah, because I know we're pressed for time. I did want to ask you lot, what did you lot make of the Tonali news? Because you lot have spoken to me before. I said if it's up to me, we sign a centre mid or left wing.
Mischief. It
does seem with Ornstein, we might go for him in the summer.
Yeah, but you know what's happening? You know, since Romano's been around, every Tom, Dick and Harry's jockeying around for all sorts of rumours. But the fact is that he's a fantastic player, without a shadow of doubt. But those are the sort of conversations you really should be having in the summer.
Exactly.
That was never happening. if they're still in the Champions League, you know, you assume they'll beat Karabakh. You know, anything can happen in the Champions League when it comes to an English club, English club anyway. So you know what I saw it as? I saw it as April Fool's Day, April Fools.
I thought his agent angling for a new deal at Newcastle, and we're just the name in the papers. I'd have him though.
He's one of the best. He's potentially, well, if Italy do get to the World Cup, I think he'll have a good tournament. But that's a big if, because Italy haven't got to. Italy and the World Cup used to be like synonymous, isn't it?
Now it's chalk and cheese.
It used to be bread and butter. But now Italy have not qualified for the last two tournaments. I mean, that's a show in itself. How does Sam Hill, as Italy, not qualified for the 2018 and 2022 World Cup? A country that's won the World Cup 4 times
and sneaked to Euros in that time where they
won. Yeah, how is that possible? But you know why? Because you know what effed up Italy? They haven't got a conveyor belt of top strikers and top players anymore.
Haven't you seen all them attackers go to Italy and they start bagging, whether they're young or old and on the outside? I've been telling people the attack, the Serie A, it's a bit shaky, man. If I'm honest,
he hasn't recovered from.
There's a lot of political. I mean, you speak to Gianni and that, bless him, but I mean, there's a lot of reasons why.
Bribery scandal, DJB. You know the Ciapoli. You know the bribery scandal, 2006. Since then,
it's killed Italian football. But the Tonali thing was just, I don't know. It's just media spinning it again. You know, doing its thing. I don't think we was ever linked to Tonali. Would I have him at Arsenal? Yeah, I mean he's a good player. I mean he's a good solid player.
Right, Subamendi, Miles Lewis-Skelly. You will never hear.
Yeah, I mean these are the sort of quality players that you want in your squad, and this is what I'm trying to say. These are the sort of things that you want. If you're going to, when certain people come out with, oh, we're going to dominate for the next 5 years. Well, you can only dominate for the next 5 years in football if you keep trying to strive to get the best players through the door. You know, like City had done and stuff like that. You can't. Unfortunately, you can't stand still. You can't stand still. You can, and hope that things go well. But look, the long-term damage that causes by standing still is astronomical. So I know it's harsh. And it might come across that, you know, oh, you're being unfair, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. They've done brilliant this season.
And we haven't said anything wrong.
I think we're going to do brilliant things this season, and I hope we do. If we don't, then
there's got to be
questions will have to be answered. Whether you like it or not, and I've said it before, forget the Carabao Cup, forget the FA Cup, put the Champions League to one side. No team with a manager that's been here 7 years, nearly, that's spent over £1 billion, that's 6 points clear in a Premiership race where the top 6 teams are not really firing on all cylinders, should be losing it from here.
No, it's over the line business now.
There is no excuses.
Look at the pressure DJB's putting on the players already.
No. Yeah, they shouldn't be. Kenny, you're with me. You should not be losing it from here. I don't care whether you're Arteta. I don't care whether you're Jurgen Klopp. I don't care. Right. There's no way a football club should be losing the Premiership from here.
Just put the left foot in front of the right.
You're 100% right. But you know what it is with Arsenal is that you look at the relief from yesterday.
We're romantic, man.
The way we played. Whether we like it or not, those periods without winning anything and those sort of kind of near misses, it's affected every Arsenal fan.
Oh,
the players, the managers.
Their view a bit, man.
It's actually been a bigger blow than we actually care to admit, because we're not sure of ourselves. We know we're good, but we're not sure of ourselves. And even though
it's almost like there's a fear of success.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People seem to forget that we have 6 years is a long time in football without winning anything. 6 years, 20 years is a long time in football without winning a league. You actually forget to win it. You actually get so used to winning as a grown adult. When you actually speak amongst your friends and who's going to win this and that, you don't let you put Arsenal forward anymore because your confidence is gone. The whole confidence
You in your head and your heart.
the whole confidence of this fan base has been affected by what's happened since we last won the league.
It's too long, Kenny, isn't it? I mean, a club like Arsenal to not win to go this long without winning the Premiership, it's criminal. It's absolute madness. If someone had come up to me 20 odd years ago and said, "You ain't going to win the league for another 20 odd years," I'd go, "You need to go see the doctor.
Smoking, man.
There's something wrong with you." I wouldn't believe them. You'd never believe them. So listen, you know, as I said, we need to win this league this season, 100%. As much as I want the champs, as much as I want the Champions League, I understand that we do need to win this league this season. From what I've seen from Man City, from what I've seen from Liverpool, the squad that we've got the 6 points lead now. We've got a favourable fixture list. I'm not disrespecting it. There's still some tricky games. We've got a favourable fixture list. Games that we should win on paper. We shouldn't be losing the league. We should not be throwing this league away.
If
we do, this Wednesday show will be very, very lively.
You know my last point, because I know like we should have wrapped up 10 minutes ago, but this is the last point. I don't like London derbies. We got 4 London derbies away. Yes, they're all winnable, but they're bloody London derbies.
Yeah, and West Ham at the end of the season, if they need 3 points to stay up, that's not a nice place to go.
Don't forget Selhurst Park last
really
season.
Brentford
Brentford's tough away.
Horrible, and they're in good form. Horrible game to play.
Amazing.
And they've got that lot, Tottenham.
Yeah,
we're battering them. I'm not shook at them. I'll be real.
Yeah, we've got Chelsea at home as well.
Chelsea at home. They're probably going to want a bit of revenge.
That lot trying against Man City. If they try against us and don't have any Benny Mill moments, they will fight difficult beat them as well.
No, but City game management's a question, man. They should have put them in a split in the first half.
Spurs get men behind the ball, get a bit physical for us, and win the physical battle, and they're organised. What happens then? How do we break them down?
Then we make a phone call and we score from set pieces and get out of there, man. I'm not shook about the North London derby. Like I'm not.
You don't trust Gorka, then, Kenny?
Yeah, he's got 68 and 6 more goals in 2026 than Haaland.
Hey, you know. I'm going to leave you with this. You know when they play the Salt and Pepper theme tune when about Gorka? You know what I should say? What should they really do? They should play. Do you remember the Munsters?
Yeah,
Munster. Whenever he plays, they should play the Munster theme. I'll tell you one thing. There's times when he looks like Herman Munster and he plays like him. Sometimes
I'm sticking by him, no man.
Yeah, I'm never giving up on you.
Hey, DJ, what will we say?
Oh no! Listen.
That's the big
man. He's got this.
No.
If anything, we signed.
By the way, you lost a subscriber because we're too negative.
Oh no, he's joking, man. That's Rashid. He's chatting shit, man. It's Rashid. He's just running jokes, man.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, big up Rashid.
Big up everyone. Big up Rashid.
he got you, man. No, that's Rashid always says that.
They can't. Honestly, it's funny how they can't. You can't speak constructively.
It's too much emotional
without being called negative. I don't understand it.
And I just don't know why people can't just. If that's their opinion and that's mine. It's all right.
Yeah. Come on.
Kenny's killing me. And on that note, people, we're going to let Kenny and DJB enjoy their evening, man. Don't forget to
big up to everyone. Thank you. Big up the chat.
DJB and Kenny, what content have you got to come out? We know Kenny loves the match review, and we know you do your thing on YouTube.
I've got my live tonight with Nonski and Matty the Southern Gooner, Mingle. I'm going to try and jump on with Rashid as well if I get time. And then Thursday, me and Kenny, we do an extra time special show Thursday.
5:30, and then
just an hour for 5:30. I don't keep Kenny too long on a Thursday because I know it's his special night. And And then that's it. The Sunday sit back on Sunday is every Sunday. So we go over the weekend's football and players' performances. We take the rough with the smooth and the positives and the negatives. And yeah, listen, it's football content. It's a football channel. It's not, it's not about having a dig at people and all that. Listen, I'm absolutely
celebrating differences of opinions.
We're going to Wembley. I'm absolutely buzzing. I've had to check the ways to find out how to get there because it's been so long. But we're on our way, and now we've got to go and win it. It's all right getting there, and I've been there many, many times, like Kenny has, when we've lost.
It's horrible to lose.
It swallows you up.
Amazing to win there.
And it kills you. It ruins your season. It's not a nice place to lose. So getting there is one thing. The dust has now settled. On to Saturday. Let's win the league. And all good.
And Kenny, your Instagram, what's the account?
My Instagram account is at KennyKen1972. Yeah, there was a couple of bits of content because of the match. And I'm on with Jez in about...
Oh, yeah, we're on with Jez.
5 minutes.
Sorry, we're on with Jez.
A quick bit of weights round the corner, then have a shower, and I'll be all right for Jez. And then I've got Dan at 10 o'clock after the Newcastle Man City game. Under normal circumstances, I hope Newcastle beat Man City, but I won't be gutted to play Man City. Look, I shouldn't want to play Man City, but I just want revenge.
Do you know what, Kenny?
Are we better than Man City individually? No.
Collectively, we are at this moment.
Do you know what, though, Kenny? I was asked this: who would you rather have, Newcastle or Man City? And I said I'd rather have Man City because we know what to expect from Man City. We play pretty similar, and we know what to expect. With Newcastle, you don't know what you're getting. It's that little bit of unpredictability that you don't quite know what you're getting. But at least with Man City, we know how to set up. We know what we were expecting. So out the two, I'd rather Man City, to be honest.
It's just you know what it is? It's validation. Because Man City have been the best team in the country for the last since 2012, and Liverpool not too close behind them. It'll give me more satisfaction beating Man City in the League Cup final.
Bring on either one, man. Put the trophy in the bag and bring it to
It's a validation thing. I mean, you to be the best, you have to beat the best, and they've been the best for quite a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Bring on anyone.
Big up everyone. Cheers, DJ.
Big up everyone.
It's been a pleasure, my friend.
No, it's always a pleasure with you two, man. It's lovely to talk football. Again, I just want to reiterate, people, Kenny Ken's Instagram has been posted in the chat, as DJ V's. DJ V's YouTube channel is in the title. And on that note, until the next time, lads, chat, big up yourselves, subscribe, follow, do all of that stuff. We're out. Peace.
Bless.
Making me laugh. Always